Am I dreaming, guys? Somebody pinch me, man. This is getting insane. Another all-time high was hit today for Palantir stock, as the stock currently is up 4%. And earlier in the day, when we hit the all-time high, $144.86, by the way, we were up around what, 6%, 5, 6% in that ballpark. Yeah. So Palantir is breaking out as if it wasn't already breaking out, right? So we're going to do an update, go over the charts, my thoughts, what I'm doing as a shareholder that owns the stock with a $21 average cost, right? So we're going to break down what I'm looking at here on the charts today, guys, overall where my head's at, and of course, we'll go over some other stocks later in the video since it is a beautiful green day right now where all the indexes are up, the VIX is down 7-8%. It's a great day. So hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you guys want to see more content out of this guy right here, join the free email stock newsletter and check out my Patreon for my weekly portfolio updates. That's down below. I actually just posted an update earlier today. Check it out. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Let's dive into it. So it is about 1:15, 1:30 right now, East Coast time. So we're slowly wrapping up the trading day, not the day in general, but the trading day is wrapping up here in about 2 hours. And Palantir just keeps on moving, man. Up over $142 a share now, trading up 4% on the day. And again, we hit an all-time high earlier in the day. We hit $145, a little bit short of that, but pretty close to 145 if we're rounding up here. And we were up like 6%. This thing just keeps on going. And what did I say months ago about Palantir? It's just one of those stocks that you just got to hold on to. You know what I mean? You just don't know what this thing's going to do. You can't predict it. It's not like a Coca-Cola stock or a Pepsi stock where you can be like, all right, I'll buy it at this P ratio. If it's super oversold, I'll buy it up, let it run a bit, then I'm dumping out. You can't really play Palantir like that. You got to just buy, hold, and let it ride. At least that's been my strategy with this stock, at least. And man, boy, has it worked out, through the ups and downs. And, this thing was at $60 just a couple weeks ago, 2 months ago, and now it's at 140. It's completely insane. It's unpredictable. And this is why you just got to hold on, especially if you're in a company that has a strong CEO, strong vision. It's got the it factor, which I think Palantir does. You got to just hold on to stocks like that and avoid trying to time it perfectly, trying to get in and out. You just got to buy and hold. Sure, you can lock in some profits if you want here and there. In fact, I actually locked in profits a couple months ago on Palantir when it first hit 125. I locked like 20% of my position there. And mind you, like I said in the intro, I've been in since $20 a share. So I was up like 400 or 500%. I was like, let me lock in some gains. That was back here in February. And I swear to God, guys, no joke, I sold out the day before it collapsed. It's unbelievable, the timing. I just had a feeling, an inkling. I was like, let me just lock in some gains. Sold out 20% there. Saw it go down all the way to where it went down 65%. And I just held on. I could have been like, oh my God, I need to sell out. I need to get out. And maybe if it was a company that I didn't fully believe in, or I didn't, like the CEO fully, maybe if it was a company I was like 50-50 on, okay, at that point, maybe I would have dumped out of my entire position. But since I believe so much in this company, the CEO, where they're going, the growth, the story, all that, I just held on. I held on. And granted, like I said, I'm in at $20. So even when it pulled down to 60, I was still up a lot. So I had that luxury of still being up a lot. But I still just I held on. And here we are, another 100% higher, 120% higher, 130% higher from where we were just in April. So Palantir, man, it's nuts. You're looking at it like, how is this happening? But it's just one of those stocks. You just got to hold on to it. And, the P's super high. it might look overvalued on paper, but all these big tech names, all these giants, all these dominant names that you're seeing now, the Apples, the Amazons, the Googles, the Microsofts, the Metas, the this, the that, the Nvidias, these were all in a similar position at the state of the growth phase that Palantir's at now. You know, a lot of those companies were overvalued on paper. Amazon, for example, when it was at like on $100 billion market cap, oh yeah, it's overvalued on paper, but it still got to where it is today, 2 point whatever trillion, or whatever it's at. I don't even know, but it's definitely a lot more than it was, and I think Palantir is going to be the same. I think it's going to be $1 trillion company, and people might be like, oh, it's overvalued. The P is this, the price of sales is this, the price to book is that, the PEG is that. Oh my God, you got to get out, Stas. But ultimately, if you have that long-term vision for the company, you believe in the company, the CEO, and you can kind of look through the noise and be like, okay, in 5 years, I see it being this. I see it being X, in this case, $1 trillion market cap. If you're able to just block out the noise, just hold on. Just let it ride, especially if you're up a lot. You already locked in some gains. You're going to be all right. And that's the way I'm looking at Palantir here. Sure, it could be a little bit hot, but you just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's going to happen. So, therefore, I'm just holding on. I'm kind of speaking out my thoughts out loud here, guys. I'm just holding on. And, the triangle that we called out, lo and behold, has played out. We called this out, I think, last week or the week before. That played out beautifully. And at this point, we have no resistances to be like, oh, that's where Palantir is going to go, because we're at all-time highs. So we don't know where it's going to go. But I'm pretty sure the high price target on Wall Street, I don't even know what it is anymore. Was it 150 or 140, 150? I'm sure it's a lot higher now. Let me look it up quickly. Palantir Wall Street price targets. So I'm typing it in on my on the internet. Let's see really quickly what we're seeing here. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, it looks like we got a new price target, a new street high price target. Wait, didn't we actually talk about this? I'm trying to remember now. It says here, okay, yeah, $155. Chappelle. Who's Chappelle? Looks like, yeah, Chappelle. Looks like some guy named Chappelle. Mark Chappelle, Loop Capital. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Mark Chappelle, but they have a $155 price target, so that's a street high, it says here. So interesting. And yeah, I guess that's the street high, and we're pretty much there. I think Ives had a $140 price target. We hit that. Some lady at Bank of America, I forget her name, she had an $150 price target. Now this guy, Chappelle, $155. We're getting there, guys. It is just insane. And eventually, yeah, we're going to get a pullback on Palantir. No doubt at some point we're going to get it in the next couple of days or weeks, whenever. But for now, it's just running hot, and I'm just holding on. I'm not selling. I'm not locking in profits like I did on this other pump. Maybe if it got to like 180 or something nuts, if it just blew up to 200, maybe I'd consider locking in a little bit again. I don't know. We'll see if it gets there. But as of now, I'm just holding on tight. And of course, I'll do updates. I'll keep you guys updated on what I'm doing with this stock and other stocks. And of course, all you in my Patreon, you get all my real-time updates for my portfolio, what I'm doing, real-time, full transparency, all of that. And that is linked down below on Patreon if you're interested. And check out my email stock newsletter as well, guys, which is completely free. That's down below. And yeah, pretty much it. That's it for the video. And oh, by the way, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.